Hello, I'm Mary Taylor, president of Pro-Life Utah, and I'm here today with Aaron Bullen. Aaron is our community action director here at Pro-Life Utah. He's also the national delegate for District 3. Is that correct, Aaron? And
Yeah, one of the three national delegates for CD3. Yep.
very good. And he's here with me today from Milwaukee at the RNC Convention. And so he's going to give us a firsthand account of what is going on and how that affects the pro-life cause. So Aaron, first, what happened with the platform? Tell us about that.
So it all kind of began last week, not this past Monday, but the Monday previous to that. The platform committee members flew in from Utah. Our platform committee members were 𝐒𝐬 and John D. Johnson, who was a state senator from the North Ogden area. And they are fantastic. I trust both of them implicitly, and they started proceedings on Monday morning for the platform committee. Now, you have to realize that historically, platform committee comes in a week beforehand because they take an entire week to work on the platform, and they work from Monday until Saturday midday, and then they stay over until Sunday, and then they go to the convention proceedings the following week as well. So the the messages that I've gotten from both our platform committee members as well as others who were there is that they basically already had a platform written, and they immediately made a motion to approve that platform and said, "Hey, well, Trump likes this platform a lot, and so does his team, and so let's all approve it. And if you don't approve it, then we're not going to be very happy." And so it only took 3 hours, and there was no debate and no amendments, and they passed it.
That's crazy,
So
Aaron.
the,
That's
the thing
crazy.
is, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the process. I really am not, and I am a big proponent of having every voice heard. And I really do think that they could have gotten almost exactly what they wanted and still not kind of strong-armed things through. Um, so that brings us to this past Monday, which was the first day of convention for national delegates like myself. And there was just discussion like what are the convention rules? Will we be able to make motions in order to amend or to change things? And we came in on Monday morning, and we started around noon, and basically we got the rules packet, which was 63 pages long when we sat down and right when we started, and I started reading immediately. And unfortunately, by then it's kind of too late. Like you need a rules committee member who's going to give you the skinny the week before to tell you what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And it turns out that in order to amend the platform put forth by the committee, you would have had to have in writing 50% of the delegation from 25 states, 50% of the states, in order to motion to actually amend that. And so
Gosh.
basically, Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee, who was the chair of our platform committee, came out and said, "Oh, this is a wonderful platform, and we really like it, and it's totally pro-life, and everyone should vote for it." She actually said that, though. She
So
actually
let's
did
talk
say.
about the changes
So
to the
I mean
pro-life portion. Yeah.
yeah.
What were the
So
changes?
let me tell you what it says. I have it pulled up here. I have my handy dandy pamphlet. I don't know if you can
It's a little
zoom in
blurry,
there,
but
but it's
okay,
a
there we go.
little blurry. It's the
Maybe a little too
little
close.
platform booklet. Sorry. So uh, under Chapter 9, Government of, by, and for the people, you get a subsection that says Republicans will protect and defend a vote of the people from within the states on the issue of life. So right off the bat, I don't like that subtitle. Like I agree with it, but I don't like that that's the concentration, and I don't like that it's a subchapter. Like, and it's about how we really like the vote of the states. So That being said, it goes on to say, we proudly stand for families in life. We believe that the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States guarantees that no person can be denied life or liberty without due process, and that the states are therefore free to pass laws protecting those rights. After 51 years, because of us, that power has been given to the states and to vote and to a vote of the people. We will oppose late-term abortion while supporting mothers and policies that advance prenatal care, access to birth control, and IVF. And that is the only mention of protecting life in the platform. So the thing is, I have mixed feelings on this. It's probably not as strong as some, and definitely not as weak as others. And I don't have it pulled up here, but in the 2016 platform, I actually made note of a few things that I really cared about. And one was just a statement that we believe in the undeniable humanity of the unborn and the sanctity of life, and believe that the unborn have a right to life. And you can say that without advocating for a federal ban. And personally, I don't think it's tactically a good idea to go forth for a federal ban right now. It wouldn't pass, and even if it did, it would get held up in the courts. And I'm all about actually saving like real life babies. And if it's not going to move the needle and actually save a baby, it doesn't mean much to me. And right now, I think we need to move the culture. We need to move each state by state. We need to prove that we are doing just fine in states like Utah. Like if our abortion ban was enacted in Utah, we could prove that we're still able to help women, and women are not in dire straits, and abortion is wrong. So
So I do
that being said,
I do like the 14th
yeah,
Amendment part. I'm glad that they stuck with that, but it does sound watered down, and it seems to me that there's a bit of a conflict there for a true pro-life statement. Because what about those babies in California, and what about those babies in New York? They deserve the same protections. I agree with you. Now's not the time for a federal ban. I would say there's two things to consider with a federal ban, right? Is it a ceiling or a floor? So, if we have
yeah.
a 16-week ban or a 15-week ban, whatever it is that as far as you can go, or that's the bare minimum standard that you have to meet? So there's a big difference there, but I would agree with you that now is probably not the time to pursue that.
Yeah, correct. And I just wish it was more than just an allusion to pro-life language in the 14th Amendment. I think a lot of us would have been very happy if they would have outright said that we believe in the sanctity of life for the unborn
Of
child.
course, of
And
course.
I also am disappointed that there's not direct language in there that says we oppose government funding of abortion
Right.
and government funding of facilities that commit abortions like Planned Parenthood. That exact language was in the 2016 platform.
Right.
And so basically, if both of those things were in there, I think they would have gotten everything they wanted. And it still would have been a softened version, but it wouldn't have hurt as much as it kind of does.
Right.
And this week I've seen protesters from Live Action out on the streets, and I get to stop them and say, hey, well, I agree with you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing what you're doing. I'm sorry I couldn't have done anything. But yeah, on the floor on Monday, we didn't have much of a chance to make a difference, and it seems pretty similar to what happened in the committee session. So the platform is the platform for the next 4 years. Now, so our platform committee members both voted no on the
Of
platform,
course they
and
did.
on the
Of
floor,
course.
they also voted no, and I voted no. And a large contingent from Utah and from other states also voted no. I mean, I would say, it probably didn't breach 15% because, they were just told by Marcia that it was a pro-life platform, and they had just gotten the platform that day, and maybe they hadn't read it either. So it's kind of that was kind of frustrating how we did business, but it was all done in the first half of the first day. and that's kind of where we're at this point.
Well, that is
Sorry,
a
I'm going to be
disappointment,
walking for a
Aaron.
bit because I
Yeah,
need to catch my bus, but
sure.
yeah.
Well, we're glad you're there representing us and standing for babies. We know you're always going to do that. So we are so grateful that you're there. And we are very thankful. You could take just a minute. I know it's crazy busy over there to talk to us.
Well, I can still talk to you as I'm moving. Did you want to chat a
Okay.
little bit about
Well,
JD
let
Vance?
yeah, let's talk about Trump's VP pick. What is your thoughts there? Is that a good pro-life choice for us, or
Uh,
what do
in
you
terms
think?
of pro-life, he did oppose the recent action of Ohio to kind of legalize abortion in that state because they had basically a referendum vote or a constitutional amendment vote,
Yeah.
and um, that was disappointing. But he was on the right side of that. I do, I do think he is pro-life, and I quite honestly I think he believes it more than Trump does. So. Um,
Well,
I think JD Vance is a good man. I don't know if as a VP pick he necessarily gets more votes, um, as much as he is succession planning and life insurance. I don't think people look at JD Vance and say, "Hey, let's take out Trump because JD Vance is waiting in the wings." They don't like him pretty much as they don't like Trump. So
okay. Well, my understanding is he's been pretty firm on the pro-life issue, so that makes me happy. I do think there's some incongruencies in the leaving it to the states. Like I said, we need to protect babies in every state, not just here in Utah, but in California and New York. But we're glad to have somebody who's going to stand for life.
yeah.
What, Aaron, have you heard?
And I wanted to, yeah, go ahead.
Finish your thought, and then we'll move on really quickly.
Oh no, I was gonna tell you kind of what I heard about plans for after Trump is elected.
Okay, tell us.
So, spoken to a few Congress members here, and I did express dissatisfaction over the recent NDAA bill that was passed to fund the Defense Department and the military. And um, the problem with that bill is the military, as it currently stands, is funding abortion tourism as a benefit to employees.
Yeah.
And they they basically told us that last year's NDAA stopped the funding of transition medication for minors and transition surgeries, but that next year's NDAA will also get rid of the funding for abortion tourism, and basically we kind of need to take things little by little. So I'm not happy that they chose to do one first and not the other. But it seems like if we can get a majority in the House of Representatives or maintain that majority and get a majority in the Senate, that axing that abortion funding is on the table, and
Okay.
it's supported by the Speaker Mike Johnson.
Well, that's a good reminder to all of us how important it is to take your pro-life beliefs to the polls, right?
Yeah, and I just want people to know, while the platform's not everything that we wish it was, especially not what I wish it was, um, it it's definitely better than nothing, and better than what the other side has to offer
Well,
in
that's for
terms of
sure.
political positions. And I do think that a majority of Republicans in these offices would actually move this nation in a pro-life direction. I believe that the president would still enact the Mexico City policy, and it'd be something we have to lobby for. But I think if we can get all three branches, we're highly likely to be able to restrict the mailing of abortion pills across state lines in states
Oh,
that
that is
do not
so
allow for
important.
abortion.
That is so important. Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's
that's great,
critical.
Aaron. We really appreciate your update for us, and you're just about done, right? Tomorrow's the last day?
Yep, I'm going right now to do the third session of speeches tonight, and I'll let you know if I find anything else out.
Thank you so much, Aaron. We appreciate it.